I'd like to call this meeting on January 5th to order. If you guys would all join us in a moment of silent meditation. Now we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jill, will you please read our mission statement?
Yes. Our mission is to guide students to become informed, engaged citizens, and curious lifelong learners.
And then Katie, would you like to do our Students of the Month?
Absolutely. Students, when I call your name, if you'll come stand right in front of everybody and face the crowd, and then we'll shake your hand and you'll tell us who you brought with you. And I have a certificate for you. Okay. First, we have Margaret Singleton. Margaret, come over here. So I'm going to read what your teacher had to say about you. I would like to nominate Margot Singleton for the DeMott Elementary 3rd grade Student of the Month. Margot consistently demonstrates the qualities of an outstanding student. She is an active learner and puts forth her best effort every day. She is consistently respectful and cooperative and always willing to help her classmates both academically and socially. Congratulations. Come over. Tell everybody who you have with you today.
My mom and dad.
Your mom and dad. Congratulations. And this is for you. Good job. And you can go back to your seat if you like. All right. And next we have Alexander Pierman, 3rd grade from Wheatfield Elementary. Alexander Pierman shows generosity every day by sharing, helping others, and making our classroom a kinder place. He is also good at including others, sharing supplies, and always being willing to lend a helping hand. He makes a positive difference in my classroom. Thank you, Alexander. For Alexander. Who did you bring with you today?
Oh, my dad.
Your dad. Congratulations. And I have a certificate for you. Here you go. Those are for you. And next we have Avery Sakema. Hi, Avery. You can turn around and face everybody. This is what Avery's teacher had to say. Avery is an outstanding person, classmate, and student. One of her best qualities is that she doesn't shy away from challenges. If something seems difficult to her, she makes it a priority to figure it out. She is not afraid to ask questions or ask for help so that she can improve in any skill or topic. Once she feels confident in her abilities, her first instinct is to find someone to help. Among other things, she is kind, patient, generous, and funny. Her classmates and I know that we can count on her for anything. Avery's attitude and bubbly personality has inspired me since August. I am so grateful to have been given the privilege of being Avery's teacher this year. Congratulations. Who did you bring with you today? Your mom and dad. There you go. You're welcome. Next, we have Peyton Kankakee. Did I say that right? Peyton's teacher said, Kankakee Valley Middle School is pleased to announce that Peyton Kankakee is our choice for Student of the Month. Peyton was recognized recently by her pod teachers as a Student of the Month as well. Peyton brings a positive attitude with her to class each day. She's willing to work hard and complete her assignments in a timely manner to achieve her goals. She's a positive role model for her fellow classmates. She shows appreciation to her teachers and classmates by building them up with her encouraging words. Peyton models our core values of responsibility, ownership, awareness, and respect every day, and we are grateful that she is with us at KVMS. We believe she has a bright future ahead of her. Congratulations, Peyton. Congratulations. Who did you bring with you today? Mom and Dad. All right, congratulations. There you go. And then we have Brianna Kozik. No, Brianna. Brooklyn Witt. Brooklyn's teacher said this: Brooklyn is a hardworking student that participates in class. She is kind to her classmates and always willing to help others. Brooklyn always shows up for class prepared, on time, and ready to learn. I appreciate that she is constantly engaged in the lesson. She is a silent leader and leads by example. Brooklyn has been an absolute pleasure to have in class. I really have enjoyed chatting and getting to know her. Brooklyn, who'd you bring with you? Okay. There you go. Congrats. And we have Robert Kane. No, Robert. And we have Maddie Amsler. This is what was said about Maddie. Maddie is a junior in the band program here at KVHS. When I think about her as a musician, the following comes to mind: hardworking, looks out for others, and constantly working to improve herself. Maddie is an active member in the Kankakee Valley Marching Band as one of the 3 drum majors, alto sax in the KVHS Advanced Band, alto saxophone in the Advanced Jazz Band, piano in the Intermediate Jazz Band, viola in the String Orchestra, viola in the Jazz Strings, and flute in the Intermediate Band. She was also selected to be a member of the IMEA, the Indiana Music Educators Association, and the Future Music Education Colloquium this January in Fort Wayne. Congratulations. Who did you bring with you tonight?
My parents and sister.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That concludes our Students of the Month. You guys are all welcome to stay for the entirety of our meeting, or if you would like to be excused, you may leave now.
She doesn't know.
We have no public participation.
All right. Well, reorganization, first meeting of the year. So based upon our past practice, if you wish to appoint me as the temporary chairperson, we'll need a A move by and a second and a vote.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Jill, seconded by Jeff. All those in favor? 7-1. Oh. 7-0. All right. We will move on now for the voting of the president. After the approval of the president shall take over for the vice president, secretary, and assistant secretary. So do we have any nominations for the president?
Tim?
Motion by Jeff for Tim. Anyone else? Then
I move to close nominations.
Second.
we have a motion by Jill and a second by Bill to close nominations. Those in favor? 7-0. Now we have a motion to approve Tim as the president of the board.
So
Second.
We have a Jeff and Katie made the motion and the second to approve Tim as the president of the board. Those in favor? 7-0. Congratulations, Tim.
yeah. I'm gonna try and get this going.
Pass the gavel, please. Hey,
Okay. Accept nomination for vice president of the board.
I'm gonna nominate Jeff.
Second.
Move to close.
Oh, sorry. A motion to close. Second. Motion to, anyone else? Motion to close. Did somebody say that already?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Second. And that's moved by. It was me.
Second.
Okay, I'm trying to. Get so here.
You're good.
All in favor? 7-0. Motion to approve Jeff as the vice president.
So moved.
Second.
80 and Jill. All in favor? 7-0. Accept nominations for secretary of the board. Can I nominate him? Can I nominate since I'm president?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll nominate Katie.
I move that nominations for secretary be closed.
Yeah, second that.
Christie?
Yep.
All in favor? 7-0. Motion to approve Katie as secretary of the board.
So moved. Second.
Jeff? Bill?
Yep.
All in favor? 7-0. Accept nominations for assistant secretary of the board.
I'll nominate Jill.
Christie.
Move to close it also.
Second. Jeff, all in favor? 7-0. Motion to approve Jill as assistant secretary.
So move.
Second.
Christie, Katie. All in favor? 7-0.
Good job.
All right.
Moving on with the approval of the minutes and claims. We'd recommend your approval of the minutes from the December 8th, 2025 board meeting and executive session and the December 15th, 2025 board meeting.
So moved. Second. Jeff, Bill, all in favor? 7-0.
We'd recommend,
I forgot I wasn't here. Does that matter? Should I abstain?
you can actually vote on the minutes by Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay, all right, sorry. I forgot about it.
Under 6B, we recommend your approval of the corporation's claims and payroll. The amount listed.
So moved.
Okay.
80, Bill? All in favor? 7-0.
Under report items, congratulations
to senior student athletes, Gabby Diener, Izzy Yonkman, Emily Shabalski, and Aubrey Stowers on being named Academic All-State by the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association. Congratulations to the high school esports team. On December the 12th, 2025, they held a 24-hour gaming charity live streaming event to benefit Riley's Hospital in Indianapolis, and they set a record and raised $4,330.
What was your goal? That was 3,500, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so. It was good.
That's pretty good.
Good, yes. Congratulations to sophomore Braden Huff for holding the new KV11 dive school record of 383.15. And congratulations to the Lady Cougars who competed in the sectional and sent 7 wrestlers to regional. And congratulations to senior Lily Colbreth, who is advancing to the state finals. And also we'll make note under the board report that all you board members completed your conflict of interest forms this evening prior to the board meeting. Moving on to employment actions, under retirements, we'd recommend you accept the retirement of Judy Fitch, Wheatfield Kitchen Manager.
So moved.
Second.
Jill, Jeff, all in favor? 7-0.
Under resignations, we'd recommend you accept the resignations as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Bill, Christie, all in favor? 7-0.
Under leaves, we'd ask that you accept the leave request as listed.
So moved.
Katie, Katie, Dan, all in favor? 7-0.
Under extracurriculars, we'd ask that you approve the ECA recommendations.
So moved.
Second. Go ahead, Katie.
Jeff, Katie, all in favor? 7-0.
Under employment classified, we'd recommend your approval of the classified recommendations.
So moved.
Second. Bill, Dan, all in favor? 7-0.
Under new business, we'd recommend the food service recommendation to renew the annual contract with the Northern Indiana Educational Service Center through the Wabash Valley Educational Center for the 26-27 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Katie, Jill, all in favor? 7-0.
We'd recommend to dispose of or scrap the high school novels speed scrub writer.
So moved.
Second.
Jeff, was
Bill.
Bill, all in favor? 7-0.
We recommend that Higgins overhead door remove and replace both fire rated roll-up doors at the high school.
So moved. Second.
Bill, Dan, all in favor? 7-0.
Recommend a 2-year contract with utility service. Utility service provides the service for testing for total coliform analysis related to the swimming pool and also to our well projects, for our wells for drinking water. And if we replace the well with city water, then the contract amount would be reduced.
So moved.
Second.
Jeff, Katie, all in favor? 7-0.
We'd recommend the purchase of a new ride-on scrubber for the high school.
So moved.
Second.
Bill, all in favor? 7-0.
Annually, for the next 3 items here, annually, we are required by law to bring these for your approval. So under F, we ask that you name Chris Ritchie as the corporation treasurer.
So moved.
Second.
Jeff, Jill, all in favor? 7-0.
We ask that you approve Stephanie Wangan as the corporation deputy treasurer for the calendar year.
So- Second.
Dan,
No.
oh, Bill, Bill, Katie. All in favor? 7-0.
H, we recommend your approval of Elizabeth Barnes from Church Hiddle in Antrim as our corporation attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Dan, Jeff, all in favor? 7-0.
Also, annually, we bring to you a resolution for board compensation. The state law allows the annual compensation to be 10% of the teacher's salary. However, you are part of this resolution does not allow for that. It's $2,500. Then an annual an amount per meeting, regular meeting, and a special meeting, which remains the same, which is set by state statute by IPS schools, and that dollar amount remains the same.
So moved.
Second.
Jill, Jeff, all in favor? 6,
Abstain.
abstain.
Under J, every January, we bring for the board for their approval based upon teacher's contract and past practice that that you adopt the IRS standard mileage rate for 26. It is 72.5 cents per mile.
So moved. Second.
Bill, Jeff, all in favor? 7-0.
There's a recommendation that the school corporation switch to school blocks for the web hosting service. The annual hosting fee is $6,000 plus a one-time startup fee of $1,800. There is a 20% discount if KV agrees before February the 1st.
Mr. Street, I just have a question about that. Did anyone check into the like phone usage, like when you're on your phone, if you can still clearly see those items that we discussed before?
You can, they're in different spots. I believe it goes to, they're at the bottom.
Okay,
You should be able to bring those up.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Dan, Jill, all in favor? 7-0.
We recommend the approval of Cruiswick Plumbing and Heating to replace the middle school hot water holding tanks for $53,245.12.
Move. Second.
Oh,
Dan, all in favor? 7-0.
We have no field trips, but under use of school facilities, there are 4 items, and we recommend your approval of use of school facilities.
So moved.
Second.
Katie, Jeff, all in favor? 7-0.
And professional leaves. There are 2 professional leaves brought before you this evening. We recommend your approval for those.
So moved.
Second.
Bill, Christie, all in favor? 7-0.
Those are all the items that we have for our regular board meeting.
Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Katie, all in favor? 7-0. 6:24.
And the first item is Chris with finance.
We were notified by State Board of Accounts that they're going to be starting to do audits of our building extracurricular accounts here in the spring. We'll make the board aware of that. We finished the year in a strong position financially, and we were able to do an education operation transfer of $680,000 comfortably, which is about 2.5% of our education fund revenue. We're allowed to do 15% state law. We're well under that. We have some projects that will be going out to bid, that are out to bid, and some that will come out to bid soon. High school roof bids will be done, and also Devon Elementary roof, January 27th, bids are due. Our municipal water project, that's adding municipal water to the intermediate school, the middle school, and to the bus garage and corporation office complex. Those bids will be due on February 17th. And the intermediate school and middle school will have heating and ventilation projects, and those bids will be due March 3rd. So our architect is very busy. We're keeping him very busy. Yeah. That's all I have for tonight.
Any questions for Chris? Moving on to Mr. Spania, items.
We have WIDA testing for our ELL students that started today. The 3 ELL teachers will go to the different schools, so it's spread out over the month to accomplish that. Next week, I learned checkpoint number 2 starts. So hopefully we see some improvement from the first checkpoint in the fall to this checkpoint. Textbook adoption this year, we have English language arts, and January 26th and February 4th, we have some textbook companies coming in for the elementaries to give presentations. Kind of narrowed it to 2 textbook companies that they like. And then on January 5th, we had 57 teacher appreciation grants that were turned in. And they're down with Jasper Newton Foundation so that they can be evaluated.
Is that about the number we anticipated receiving, or did we have an idea of how many we get? Since it was the first time.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good percentage talking to some other school districts. And once Jasper Newton categorizes them, then we'll have to look at those and sign off for them. When I say we, the admin team, like Don, Chris. So, well, tonight, I'm sorry, any questions for Mike? Any additional questions? Tonight wraps up our series with our 5 buildings. So we have the middle school and high school. So Josh Pierman's here, and Ryan Myers with an assistant athletic director, Bill Mueller, to present and tell us about their district, opportunity for question and answers as well. We have a few other items in work session, and we do have an executive session scheduled as well. So Josh?
Right. Well, good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. I don't know, I guess if I point this at your computer there to change it. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you. Thanks for what you do. I know that it's probably a very thankless job. I know it's, you get to tolerate all of us and then hear about all the drama that we have to, deal with sometimes. And so sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's difficult. But honestly, it's rewarding no matter what we do. So I think that's the fact that the matter is, and at KVMS, I really think when I moved here 7 years ago and I became the assistant principal at the middle school, I'm going to be honest, I didn't necessarily think that one day I would be the principal of the middle school. But here we are, and I'm very grateful to serve in that position. And I'm grateful to serve in this district. And so this quote really stood out to me. I wanted to just kind of share that with you as we get jumped in, because this kind of embodies what I feel like embodies what we're trying to teach to our middle schoolers. That intelligence plus character, that's really the goal of education, true education. It's great to have academics. It's great to have book smarts. We all believe that. That's why we do what we do, why we educate kids. But building character in them is something that lasts for a lifetime. right? If we can continue to raise up and send out great people into our community, that's the whole point of what we do. And so that's what we're trying to do at the middle school. And so a couple things about what's new, thanks to you all and thanks to just the great team that we have, we've been able to welcome some new faces to KVMS. If you've not met them or been over to see them, I really hope that sometime you can. There are some great additions. Miss Kendall Zeal is a new school social worker that we've added this year. She works alongside our 2 guidance counselors, and she is doing a fantastic job. Kids have really been able to connect with her. She took charge of our Red Ribbon Week this year, and she started some girls groups that she's meeting with girls just to kind of talk about middle school adolescence as a female. And there's been some really great conversations that have come out of that. It's just been a really good kind of team building opportunity. And of course, Mr. Seymour, Mark Seymour is our new assistant principal, athletic director. He's doing a fine job. He came to us from over in Lansing, Illinois, and he was a physical education teacher there. And came very highly recommended by some administrators in his district. So we were happy to have him over here to become a Cougar. And I think that he's been a great fit to our school and our school community. And just a side note, he's not here tonight. And if you stop in the next couple of weeks after Friday, you might not see him because his wife is having a baby. It's their first child. And so I know he's really excited about that. So they'll welcome that baby in this weekend, hopefully. So, another exciting thing that we've been doing over at KVMS, and I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit more in the presentation, is the KVMS Cougar Pack is something that I really felt coming from DeMott Elementary when I served as principal there for a couple of years, just coming back into the middle school environment. Adolescence is a time where middle schoolers push away their parents, right? If you've lived through it, you know, right? And so what we don't want that to be is a time in middle school where parents become just completely disconnected to the experience of what middle school is. And so we were able to create this parent advisory committee. I actually just met with them earlier today at 4:00. And they continue to do amazing things for our school. They just want to be a resource, kind of like a PTO would be, or a PTT in one of our other buildings. And so they're just doing a great job. And then, of course, what else is new? We've implemented a new WIN period, which is what I need. That's an intervention and enrichment time for our students. We had a couple quick pivots at the beginning of the year where we flipped our schedule around a couple times. And after some trial and error, we were able to kind of land this second semester where we moved our WIN period to the start of our day. And now we have advisory back at the end of our day. Now, again, if you had a middle schooler in your house at any time, you know that sometimes everything seems like a catastrophe to them. And so what we saw at first was when we introduced the WIN period, and I'm going to elaborate on that in a little bit as we build toward the future. A lot of kids in middle school, they didn't really understand what we were doing with it because they had never done anything like it in middle school. However, again, coming from an elementary setting as the principal over at DeMott for a couple of years, that language, what I need, when, is a very common phrase heard throughout K through 5 in this district. And so I felt like it's a natural transition as we continue to use that language. It's part of the PLC process that our teachers use to give students what they need, whether it's enrichment or intervention during that time. And so that's what we've been using it for. So we want to continue building towards the future. You know, the Titanic doesn't turn on a dime, but it does turn. And so we're making progress with what we're doing at the middle school. I think that we're going to do that by 3 things. And just for alliteration's sake, expectations, empowerment, and encouragement. And so I want to kind of elaborate on those with you a little bit. At KVMS, we are trying to re-clarify and make sure that people understand our expectations. Our expectations come through clear learning targets, common academic standards, and consistent behavior practices. Again, we're seeing some of these things come out and play out in our WIN period through our student intervention team, our guiding coalition that is being formed right now to help lead our PLCs in our school. Empowerment. Empowerment's a big thing that I want to do, not just with kids, but also with adults. Again, that's another reason why we kind of created that pack, that Cougar Pack for the parents. We give them voice, choice, and leadership. That's how we want to empower our staff and our kids and our community. We do that through our clubs, our extra and co-curriculars, leadership opportunities, our innovative teaching strategies. We're sending kids, we talked about Wabash Valley Education Center earlier, trying to get teachers to take advantage of that through some of our consortium that we're a part of there, where we have opportunities to send them for free, a couple of them to certain professional developments. And so we're using enrichment time as well. Now, that's another fun thing, exploratory time, something we did last year where I introduced that to the middle school students. We had teachers find something that they were passionate about. One teacher chose friendship bracelets. I'm going to out myself and say that I made karaoke club, right? We had people that did nature walks and things like that. And kids got to sign up for 4 weeks. Every Thursday, they got to participate in something just completely different. It was just to explore new things and have some fun and get to be with those adults in the building and see them in a different spotlight. That maybe it's not math, maybe it's basketball skills that maybe one of our teachers taught. And so just really great things that we're trying to do to give students more excitement and ownership of what's going on in school. And then lastly, that engagement piece that kind of leads right into that. We engage students and our staff through being relevant, through building relationships, and through creating a sense of belonging in the building. Again, that goes back to that advisory period. We are really redefining expectations that have surrounded the advisory period. For years, the advisory period has just kind of functioned as kind of a quasi study hall. And even if I describe it to parents who don't know what that is, I might say, think study hall-esque, right? It is a period where students can get help and learn different things if they need some reteaching of things. But really the advisory period, according to the Association of Middle Level Educators, is really supposed to be an all-encompassing time for both academic and relationship building for each teacher to be able to check in with every kid in that classroom at least once a week. And so that's what we're trying to get for. We're working toward that because I believe that every kid in the building should at least have one adult that they have made some kind of a connection with. And so that's the hope through that process. Our parent advisory committee, our athletic teams, College Go Week, and something new that we are going to do this spring is we are going to host our first ever military and trades week. We do College Go Week in September, and working with our guidance counselors, I felt like this was a really great thing that we should do because not every kid might choose to go to a college or a university. Some of them may choose to go to a trade school. Some of them may choose to go military, and we want to celebrate that. We want to honor that, especially those professions and people who do that. So we're going to be doing that this spring. Some of the things I want to glow and grow about. How are we glowing? What can we champion? What can we grow in? You've heard me say some of these things already. When I excel in readable English, you may have caught wind about something called readable English. That's something that we were awarded a digital intervention and what's that word, Mike? Digital intervention and tools grant. There's a big fancy word for it. We were awarded it in June or July. Mike helped write it. It's a big thing. But with that, we purchased IXL licenses and readable English licenses. IXL is for math and language arts, and that's for, we went ahead and thanks to the corporation, we helped supplement the part of the grant that did not pay for all students to have IXL. But now because of that, every student at the middle school has access to ELA and math IXL. They use it at least, it's a minimum of twice a week in their language arts and math classes. And for those students who don't have a readable English when period, they use it at least, well, it's every day, 4 days a week at least, doing 2 days math, 2 days English language arts. And there is a specialized skill plan associated with their iLearn checkpoints. So somebody mentioned iLearn checkpoints earlier. Once they take that test, we test again at the end of January. It will automatically pull that data from the state, sync it to IXL, and it recreates a personalized, for Josh Pierman, my scores, it creates a personalized path for me based on what skills I am deficient in or doing well in. And so that's what that does. But readable English is a tool that we have been able to get with that digital learning grant. And it is basically an orthographic mapping tool that helps students be able to see what they are reading. We know that in middle school, if you don't know how to read by middle school, you are very far behind. And we need to do everything we can to try to catch kids up. And so speaking of catching kids up, you will see right there, the norm of expected growth for a year is about 10 for Lexile level in middle school. Our students at KVMS are 8.6 times ahead of the national normed average already this school year for what they are expected to grow in their reading per year. That's really good. And then when it comes to their fluency, that is how, well they are reading, that those 400 students that are doing this, which is over half of the school, that we are, again, very far ahead. If you look at the norm levels, 8th grade is 22.8 times higher than their expected growth in fluency already. 7th grade is 4.4, 6th grade, 5.6. So we're seeing really good things already through this, and we hope to continue. I'll try to wrap this up there in just a minute. Mike's timing me. I'm probably far over it. He always times me. Well, IXL, I mentioned this earlier. Again, you can see this is actual data that I pulled from our dashboard. The 700 and some odd students at KVMS have already answered using their skill plans and their work that they're doing on this over 1,146,000 questions. This is all directly targeted to things that they're not only learning in class, but they're with iLearn. It's directed toward their skills that they're trying to build in iLearn. And so they've spent over 7,300 hours working on this. Our teachers are doing a great job having them work. So my prayer is obviously we continue to see that growth. Another glow I talked about is the Cougar Pack. I wanted to throw some pictures up there of them and give them a shout out. They have been, again, an incredible asset to our school. And I'll give them another shout out. Even in our meeting today, they may be reaching out for information from some of you because this month is School Board Appreciation Month. So again, thank you. They want to do a little spotlight on each of you for the Cougar Pack Facebook page, if you would allow that. So they asked me to throw that in there this evening when I told them I was going to be talking about them tonight. And so they've been doing great things, treating our teachers, treating our students, trying to build that rapport between the community and the school. And of course, we continue, obviously, all of this is to prioritize academic achievement in the classroom. And we have a big goal with a 5-year goal of having a 15% overall increase. That's 3% per year over the course of 5 years. Do I think we can do better than that? Yes, that's the goal that we've set right now. So we want to see how that kind of comes in and knowing that this is a long-term process and a plan so we can increase our iLearn scores across the building and do well with that and maintain that growth. One of the last things I want to say is about our attendance rate. I know we have a corporation attendance goal of 95%. I don't know, my jaw nearly hit the floor when I got the email from our attendance director and he showed the stats, and this is not a knock on any other building, I'm just tooting KVMS's horn, that we have the highest attendance rate in the month of December of any building in our district, 95.4%. And that's nearly 1.5 percentage points higher than we were last year in December of 2024. We are going in the right direction. We are making some changes and we are getting kids invested in wanting to be at school, in middle school. And to me, that's a win. Of course, there are changes coming. We want to stay on pace with all the things that are coming down the pike in Indiana. You probably heard some of it. We want to remain flexible, proactive in some of the changes. There are changes coming and a lot of new legislation, and sometimes legislation changes from week to week. And so we just never know what we're going to get. But we stay on top of all that with Mr. Spagna and Mr. Street. And so I think we're doing a great job being proactive with that. Again, thank you so much. The power of creating a better future is contained in this present moment. We can create a good future because we're trying to create a good present. And so I appreciate all of you again. I whizzed through that. It probably was more than 10 minutes, but I have a lot of good things to say about KVMS. So thank you.
Questions for Josh?
I
Comments?
got a question about the
Yeah.
English reader thing.
Readable English, yes.
Readable English.
Yep.
Is it just is the letter? How does that work?
And that's a great question. And I wish I can definitely show you. Actually, I'm going to show you right now because you asked, because I want you to see what it looks like. It's a system where they teach a a series of symbols to kids, almost like if you've ever looked in a dictionary and there's little phonemic symbols above certain letters. In other languages, even there might be, like in Spanish, there's the little, things. They teach those series of things. Graphemes is what they call those, little graphics or icons to kids, and it shows them how it looks when they're going to read it. And the Readable English tool, it's a translation tool. So when they translate, they can translate a web page, they can translate IXL. A teacher can upload a PDF of an assignment, and it will translate that entire PDF into Readable English. And so if you see that, the black letters are the only ones that are pronounced in that word.
okay.
The grayed out letters are not pronounced in English. So neek. And it teaches that whole series to kids. And so I just want to kind of show you that. So this is a new system to us. So this is kind of what a student would see as the word is kind of diagrammed and broken apart.
So I was thinking, if it's spelled wrong, but it looks the way it should be spelled, but spelling's different than, like, technique could be spelled different. I mean,
Right.
Not knowing how to spell it.
Yeah, no, it purposefully does not do that because it keeps the word as it is spelled correctly, so they can see the word and then they start to build fluency because they see how it's spelled.
Okay.
Right. So then when they see that word again, that they will continue to notice that and understand how that looks, and then they'll put that in their memory banks, and that's how they become more fluent over time.
Pretty neat.
So this is for kids that are struggling with.
So yes,
And
we
then the
identify.
goal being then that you graduate past that.
Correct. That's the goal ultimately, that we would get them beyond that. And so as they continue to build that fluency, there are multiple phases in Readable English's implementation. Right now, most of our students are this semester, we started Labor Day probably, that we are getting into what's called phase 3. And again, that's more heavy translation of websites and pages and PDF worksheets, things like that. And they're really starting to use that tool and build their comprehension. Because it's one thing to be able to read quickly. It's another thing to be able to understand and remember what you read. And that is what we are finding actually at the middle school that we need the most growth in. While the fluency numbers were nice to see that, we want to see the comprehension growth. Because again, a student may be able to buzz through and read something, but if they don't remember anything they just read, it's not going to stick. So that's our goal with this. It's a process, but we're seeing good things. And I want to give a big shout out to our teachers for really jumping in on this. We had a lot of, it's not just English teachers. I've got science teachers. I've got social studies teachers that volunteer, art teachers that said, hey, I'll help teach it. So about half of our teachers are teaching 400 kids this program, and the other half or so are teaching those who they passed the I Learn language arts portion, and they did not need that kind of remediation. So good
Thanks.
question. Hope that answered it, Tim.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah.
This is also a program that we instituted at the elementaries. There's years where phonics wasn't stressed. And then we saw reading scores across the country go down. Science of Reading came out a couple of years ago, and it's stressing phonics again. And this is a big part of it. And so the elementary levels, the goal is if we can really stress the phonics at the younger levels again, like we probably all did, that the reading levels will continue to go up, and at the middle school, they'll already be where they need to be.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Myers, high school?
You can pull that up. Thank you for having us tonight. I'd like to thank you guys. I know you guys do an awful lot for us, and so Mr. Spania, Mr. Street, and Mr. Rich, I have to call with a lot of annoying questions sometimes about where does this come from. So I appreciate everyone's help. We have a great team at the high school, as Mr. Pyramid does at the middle school, but Joe Bachin, our assistant principal, and Susie Kwiatkowski do a great job building relationships with kids and with teachers, and they're terrific at what they do. And then of course, and the athletic world, Mr. Bueller and Mr. Wagner, also, incredible job of all the events that we put on and all the tournaments that we host, and it just takes for granted that, oh, we're just gonna host sectionals, no big deal, but in a lot of schools, that's a big thing, and, we have great facilities and we're very lucky and blessed for that. So I just want to say thank you before we get started. It's not easy and we appreciate your guys' support. So sorry, I didn't think about it quicker. I think I only have 30 slots. No, I'm kidding. I got could you put it up, present you mine? I don't think I can, but it won't move this way, I don't think. Wow.
I don't know if there is, isn't it?
There was, but maybe it's not. So trying to grow and get better, we're using Canva instead of Google Slides. And sometimes Canva doesn't like to play nice when you're trying to especially present things. So we'll just go with this. This will be good enough and we'll figure it out. There's just a few snippets of some of the things that we're doing. BPA last year, it's one of our most popular clubs. We had over 65 students that competed in more than 30 different events to qualify for the state competition, which was in March. And then they went further and went to Florida for nationals. We've been to nationals, oh gosh, a long time. We've had people go and that number just keeps growing. Our kids did a great job again. Talking to Mrs. Blanco, we're expecting at least that, if not more, this year. So she's really happy with the kids that she's getting and the kids do a good job. In foreign language, we do offer 3 languages. German is right now one of the most popular ones. Spanish still has the most numbers, but German is probably the other one that's growing the fastest. So we have a great teacher, Mrs. Mimics there, and just kind of immersing the kids in the German culture. They're always doing things up there. They had Oktoberfest, the kids bring in food, they build the Berlin Wall, they're doing all kinds of neat things throughout the year. You can stop by her room sometimes and it's fun. She gets kids excited for learning German, and we're grateful for her. And then of course, Mrs. Cates in our Ed Professions, that's one of our CTE courses, but in our capstone class, we have cadet teachers. And the other buildings have been very good to us. They allow our kids to go into other buildings and observe some of our great teachers, and they can help in the classroom as much as the teacher wants. So it's great experience for our kids who, would like to go into education and maybe become a teacher one day. This is great experience that they don't have to do at college. This gives them that experience now. And if it's something they love, that's great. That's just going to springboard them. Where do they go? If it's something they don't like, they realize that that's not really me, then it's a great opportunity to find something else too. So that's one of the things we love about high school. Good, okay. So just recently this fall, back in November, we were awarded the Purple Star School. I bring that up because that took a lot of people, took some effort on your guys' part. Joe Bachin did a lot, but it just recognizes Kankakee Valley High School around the state as a school that supports veterans and some of the programs and things we do. We have some fundraisers. We do, I think, a really nice Veterans Day program. And so you had to put in for this an application. Like I said, Joe did a lot with this, and we were awarded that Purple Star School. So really happy with that. The 2 things I always like to probably hang my hat on, the 2 things that are CTE. If you look at the amount of kids and amount of courses that we have more than some of the bigger schools that are in our area. And I think it's been a focus for us. I think high school is we've always had this shared vision, I think, amongst people in the room, but high school is a place to try new things. It's kind of a place to find yourself, find out what you want to be interested in, what do you want to go in life. If you want to go to college, great, we have that. We have a lot of, we'll talk about in a second, dual credit classes, but if you decide that maybe college is not my thing and I want to work, or I want to go into a different profession, I want to see what this looks like. I could start off by being in, I could be in welding, and I might decide that after welding, I didn't like that. I want to be in criminal justice, or no, I'd rather be a CNA. And so we have all these different programs. We have some great people who lead them. And it takes a lot of planning. There's a lot of things that go into this, but we offer 21 pathways for kids. And I think that's a great thing. There's a lot of things for kids to find something they like. And then to kind of go along with that, the one thing that I like, we do is we offer a lot of dual credits. And those dual credits I talk to you guys about anytime I get a chance. We have offer 50 dual credit classes. So kids are getting those credits, they get a high school credit, and then they get some college credits, and that's what they take with them. I know we talked about this before. My daughter Madeline is a junior finishing her senior year of college right now, so it saved her a year of school. My other daughter Avery's a junior this year, and she'll have probably the same thing happen when she graduates with all the dual credit. And there's a lot of kids that have the same. A couple of kids will get out with associate's degrees. We're getting to be that point now where we offer enough. So these are all great things. I think we talked to you guys last year. I think the class of 2025, we saved the parents over $1.2 million in credits that they didn't have to pay for, that just come, our kids get it. And so that's a big thing. I think that, we don't often give ourselves a pat on the back for that, but it's something our staff, it takes a lot of work on their part. They got to have their coursework, they got to have a master's degree. So we have teachers going back and getting those things. They're able to get certified to teach dual credit. I was talking with another school, and the principal, when I told him how many he said, he goes, "How do you have that many?" I have 3 teachers that teach dual credit. It's a school up north, but he can't find teachers that want to do this. And we're trying to tell teachers right now, like, well, slow down a little bit. We can't offer dual credit for freshmen. So we're doing a lot of things for those kids. And, I think sometimes that, people don't know all the great things we do. Dual credit's certainly one of those things. So enrollment for the high school, you can see over the course of the last 5 years, we've seen our numbers drop. That's probably not uncommon right now. It seems like a lot of schools that we talk to are seeing the same things. I think what hurts us a little bit more at the high school, there's a junior class, that's the 2008 kids that were born. That group of kids have been the lower number. You can look up in 23, 24, when they were freshmen, there was only 214 compared to the other class sizes. Take that to today, there's only 206 in that junior class right now. So as they've kind of aged through high school and went through, our number continues to drop a little bit. I think after that group graduates, there's about 40 kids more in the other groups. So I think our numbers will go back up. But we are seeing enrollment declining for various reasons. We're working through it. We're trying to, I still think what we do is good. I want to keep pushing our kids, and I don't think changing things right now. We're doing great things. So that's the enrollment. A couple of the things that we try to do, are areas of focus for us, which is kind of what Mr. Street and Mr. Spania have said. But improving academic achievement, we've done some things the last couple of years. We added a new course this year, and you'll see here in just a few minutes. Our English department has really kind of taken this, and they're trying to add more rigor to what they do. This year, Mr. Cates went and took some summer classes so that he could teach an AP class. It's AP seminar. It's like an honors for English 10. So it's something that he had to spend a lot of his summer doing, and it's been a pretty good so far. Kids are signing up. We have a lot of kids signed up for it next year. So it's just another way they could take the AP test at the end of the year. And then if they score high enough, that could count towards a college credit for them. We've added personal finance. That started last year, year before. That is a graduation requirement for the new diplomas. And so we will have to, we believe our kids are juniors and seniors is kind of our target area for kids with personal finance. Not that the freshmen and sophomores couldn't do the work, but we feel like when you have to learn to balance a checkbook, and what do you mean I have to pay bills, and taxes, what are taxes? We feel like those kids that may already have a job, that means more a little bit to them, or they know they're going to be going out into the working world, that means a little more. So we feel like that's a junior senior class. So that'll be something that as their kids, starting with this freshman group, as they get older, we'll be taking a lot more, we're teaching more sections of personal finance. And then this semester, we're teaching dual credit econ. Sarah Welsh is taking that on. So we've offered dual credit government, but we've never offered the econ with it. So this year we're starting that. So that's another dual credit opportunity for kids. Mr. Spania, would you be able to click on that link for me? These are some classes that we're looking at with the English department. I'm gonna step up closer because I really can't see those. So in the English would like to, I think one thing that you'll notice with the new diploma requirements is they've really given us a lot of freedom to kind of teach what we want to teach kind of thing, that as long as it fits within the Department of Ed and their codes. So one of the classes we'd like to offer, we're gonna be talking about this and bringing it to you later. We're looking at sports and literature and writing, and I'm not gonna read all that, but you can see how that is. We're looking at genres and themes. That'll take place of English 11. The one I really like, problem solving and persuasion. You can kind of see this. This will all be coming to you later. John Gray has moved over to the teaching weights. And what he's noticed is we have in the APC classes, we have those kids that have never lifted any weights ever before. And then we've had the kids that have been in sports, or maybe they're a senior and they have APC. This is their third time having APC. Well, you get such a change. You're having to really teach these kids, but these kids you kind of, so in order to keep, Mr. Gray would like to keep it, we have like a beginner's APC where it's going to be a lot of teaching. We'll be using a lot of the machines and stuff. And then as the kids get stronger, as they become more comfortable, the techniques are better, then we'll go into advanced APC. So we'll kind of split that up for next year. So that's something we're looking at. In the sciences, this has been, the diploma right now requires that the kids have 3 years of a science, which is great, but we're having a hard time getting kids to take 4 years of science. And some of that just, they've got other classes they want to take, they want to go a different pathway. So, but for some kids, we'd like to offer a few different ones. I don't know if you don't mind scrolling down a little bit. We're looking for add these 3 animal behaviors, astronomy, and microbiology. So those are classes that we could offer with the hope that they're semester classes. And the hope is that we can get some of those kids to take that 4th year science, is kind of what we're looking for with that. Computer science is going to be a graduation, it is a graduation requirement for the class of 2029, which is our freshmen. We don't have anything like that right now. When Mr. Hyde retired, that was our computer science program. And so we won't be asking for a teacher for it now, but starting next year, we think this is that one. It's also a junior senior class. It's a semester class. So we're kind of hoping that computer science and personal finance would be the 2 that would go together. So that at their junior year or senior year, they'll take the semester classes. So that'll be something that's coming down the road. And then of course, work-based learning, that's something that you guys approved. We started it last January with 8 kids. This year we have 27 kids in it. So we saw a good bump in that. It's been a really good program. We have the kids that take it really like it. So they're in class at KV for the morning. And then on Monday afternoons, they're with Jennifer Gilger, who is our work-based learning teacher. She does things like employability skills, writing resumes, practice job interviews, things that they might need when they leave KV. The goal with that is that we keep expanding that. I would like to see that get somewhere in the 40s, 50s, something like that. And so that's been good. The other days that they're not with Mrs. Gilger, I'm sorry, they leave at noon and then they go out and they work their job for the afternoon. So some of those kids that were graduating a semester early, now we kind of offer this. So that gives them a chance to stay in school all year, but they get out half days and they get to go work. So it's kind of the best of both worlds for them. We've had a lot of kids talking about it, so we're kind of hoping that we're going to keep growing that program. Move on. Our other areas of focus, attendance, of course, that's a thing. The state this summer have changed a little bit of what they count as attendance, and they wanted for us to track it a little bit better than maybe what some schools have. This has been our attendance rate this fall. You can see Mr. Pyramid did beat us, so we have some growth. We can get better. But that's Mr. Kennedy. That's where we're at with that. What do we do? Joe and Susie are meeting with kids daily and sometimes all day, talking about attendance. A lot of the times is trying to be proactive. You know, we notice that the kids miss 3 days in a row. What's going on? Hey, you know, you only got a couple days left, and then, you know, then there's warnings, there's consequences. we try to tie a lot of things to attendance. You know, we feel like it's important that you have to come to school every day. We feel like when you go out into the work world or you go to college, that it's important you show up to work every day or show up to college. And so we try to hold things to kids. We want to reward the kids that are doing the right things. So if kids want to go to a school dance, whether that be prom or homecoming, then we put a attendance part to it. So you can only miss a certain amount of days. And as long as you stay under that limit, then we'd love to have you come to our dances. For those kids that, you know, are habitually absent, then that's something that they don't get to partake in. So that's been actually a really good thing. The guy before me actually started that and put that rule in place, and then he left. And so we kind of had to carry it out, but it's been a great program. It's actually worked really well. We've had a lot of success with that. We tie field trips to attendance. So we do a lot of things to reward kids for having good attendance. And then the last thing I put down there on that slide, it's called Project Attend. You guys have probably heard about it. It's something we use. Our director of attendance is a big part of that, along with Joe and Susie, the sheriff's department. If it has to go further than that, then we talk about the prosecutor and probation and judge. But it's a meeting that we have at all of our buildings, and it takes place to kind of bring parents in and kind of talk to the parents about the importance of attendance and why it's important for us. It also gives us a chance to kind of learn more about what goes on at home. And so if there's any kind of issues like medical issues that we don't know about, it's a good time to kind of just talk to parents. So that program is really helpful if we get to that point. You know, we usually don't have it go a lot further than that. Yeah. So what else do we do at the high school? We work on school safety. We do have an SRO at the high school that's changing. Officer Pearson, who's been here for 3.5 years, recently got a promotion at work. So he'll still be with the sheriff's department, but he won't be with us at the high school. So right now they're in the process of trying to find someone full-time. Officer Rusk has stepped in, our 4th SRO that you guys approved, and he's done a nice job. I'm sure Mr. Street shared last week his efforts, and we were looking for a vehicle, and Mr. Rusk did a really good job and spent a lot of time looking at camera footage to help us. So on top of our SRO, you know, we do have security. I feel like our football games and our home basketball games, I feel like we have a pretty good showing of our reserve officers that show up to help out. Any of our school dances, we go to prom. Last year we were in Cherville, and we had 3 of our SROs up in Cherville helping. I think it's great. They build relationships with the kids anyway, and it's great to have them there. So we love them that they come up there and help us out for things like that. We do have a school safety team at the high school as well as the other schools. Our members are all Indiana school safety specialists. They've all been trained for that. And so that gives you another view when you're looking at your own school of things that could be a problem or things that we need to address. They're a great team to have on board. And then I think one thing that we do that I don't believe a lot of other districts do is we have a reunification team that meets, and that reunification team is made up of a lot of people. We've practiced that before if we were ever to have a reunification that we had to do. I feel like KV is prepared for that. I feel like that took a lot of planning. It takes a lot of help from a lot of people. It may not be perfect, but it would be really good in the case if we ever had to use it. So that's how we work with safety at the high school. Discipline's kind of it kind of ebb and flow. It kind of sometimes it's a lot higher than others. I was surprised when Susie ran the data for this, but we have a few less students, but we also have 100 fewer infractions. So I think if there's anything that this tells you is that we have great kids, and our kids, for the most part, want to come to school. They want to have fun. They want to learn, and they don't cause any trouble. They're just great kids to be around. And so this is just kind of a small sampling of that. Discipline, that was a focus that we had this year going in, district-wide discipline. Obviously, at DeMont and Wheatfield Elementary, it's going to look a little bit different than the high school. But the language can be the same. And so we've kind of taken some of those pieces that is the language about being responsible and respectful, being safe, being a problem solver, and we kind of adjusted that to what it should look like at the high school. So we created these posters, they're hanging all up throughout the high school. We have them in every classroom, they're in the hallways, they're in the bathrooms, in the cafeteria, and what we expect from our kids. And kids, of course, like I just said, they do a great job. So I also kind of added some preschool stuff because I know you guys want to hear about our great preschool that we have. Right now we have 2 teachers and 4 paraprofessionals. Our preschool numbers, the numbers adjust, or they fluctuate throughout the year. We always start off with our lowest numbers in August, and then as kids who are being tested, qualify for an IEP, then they are given the opportunity to come to our developmental preschool. And so we have right now, as of last Friday, we have 29 students in the morning, 23 in the afternoon. You can see how many IEPs. The peers would be considered like general ed students that would be in our preschool. So you can see what that is. That number started off probably, I think it was like 22 and 16. And now you can see what the numbers are. It won't be uncommon for it to get to 30, 35, but that's 2 different classrooms as well. So it's not 30 kids in one room. It's 2 different classrooms. So, but you can see that. So we're seeing, as I just mentioned, we get more students as the year progresses. North Newton just approved the developmental preschool. So how might that affect us? We have 8 students right now who would be considered North Newton students that come over here for preschool. Some of them will probably stay because we've had older brothers and older sisters. And so Rosie doesn't feel like all 8 of those kids would leave us next year. So that it will help take off because as at the end of the year, it gets to be a lot with the amount of kids in there. So maybe some of that will help us a little bit. I asked Rosie for needs. What kind of things do you see coming? She said that we have a lot of behaviors in there. So maybe in the future, maybe another para would be helpful. As we try to, especially some of those kids with some of the behaviors that we see, it's almost 2 adults and 1 child, almost in some situations. So it could be something as we look down the road that we might look at. High school doesn't have we have the facilities, but having a preschool bathroom is very difficult in the middle of a high school. We've made the really good best of the area that we have. Rosie said, maybe more room for another bathroom in there, but I think for the space that we have an outdoor playground now, which is something that we've never had at the high school. And I think that's a big help. They can go right out of their classroom, right into the courtyard. They have all kinds of toys out there. And so it's been a good thing having them over there. And so that's our preschool. That's all I have for you. I'll save the next session, Mr. Mueller. We'll talk a little bit about sports after, but that's it for the high school. Okay. Thank you.
Any questions for Ryan? The expectations that Ryan showed, they're also at the middle school.
Yep. Yeah.
And the IS and the elementary. So that's what we had worked on, talked about and stuff. Thank you.
I wasn't expecting to speak. No, he's like, I'm done.
So a few other items with our work session is our next board meeting. We will also have the annual Board of Finance meeting. Will also be at that time, and you'll be approving a president, secretary, etc. with that. Indiana General Assembly is in full swing again. So one of the bills that have been introduced and also at the federal level is some dietary changes. And I'll say Andrea is very much on top of this and communicating with other people and companies already concerning this.
Good or bad?
It's just changing some things.
Fozzie was very happy about it and was excited to teach nutrition again. I think the way I took it, it's a little bit back to how it used to be.
No,
So not anything, but just
stressing more fruits and vegetables and things. So it's healthier.
Yeah.
So, and there's several bills that have been introduced that affects education. So I have already started my communication with Senator Demeyer and Charbonneau, Representative Culp and Ainsworth. And they all responded back when I first communicated. So that is good. They've always been outstanding with that. Also talking with Rhonda this afternoon. They are planning on doing some more bus training with the fire departments and EMS. Taking one of our buses that no longer run, that we will declare as junk in the near future, and using that and possibly taking a car, an old car that, and putting like the bus on top of the car, extracting and working on with that. So we appreciate Rhonda and the training she does, and Ryan had talked quite a bit about school safety, and we've really made school safety a priority. And Ryan's our school district school specialist, safety specialist. So thank you, Ryan. But our fire departments and EMS and police departments have really helped with this. So we want to be ahead with those items. So those are that's all the items we have for the work session, unless you have something.